Hey guys, hope you're well. I'm Riaz. Hope you're enjoying this lockdown. For me though, yes, I'm not gonna lie to you. The first few weeks of the lockdown was intense because I was so used to actually being out of the house and just working and meeting people and just talking to people and all of those kind of things, and then being placed in an isolated area for more than 2 weeks at that time for me was kind of weird. I felt very imprisoned. So it's been quite difficult. But I think as weeks progressed, it has been kind of okay because, I kind of found things to do, taking up Spanish classes, learning new skills, all those kind of things, which has been cool. However, for most of us, being by yourself is probably a punishment that most of us have been trying to run from a very long time. I'm speaking from experience. I, for one, always loved being by myself. But for so long, to actually be by yourself and you just forced into this corner where you just gotta think about things, man, that you just have been trying to avoid and run away from all your life. You actually have to face it and deal with it. For example, we all have insecurities, we all have secrets, we all have skeletons in our closets, we all have complexes that we actually haven't sat down and dealt with. So for me, that was a very scary thing because I was forced to deal with it because I had completely nothing to do. So it's been kind of scary, I'm not gonna lie to you. I mean, there's only so much you can do every day. I mean, there's only so much of series you can watch. There's only so much of social media you can absorb in every day, so there's a time in the day where you by yourself and you just don't know what to do, so you think about stuff and you have to deal with those things and find measures and solutions and ideas and how you're going to go about sorting that nonsense out in your life. So me, for example, I had an anger issue. I used to get angry at the most slightest things. I'm not going to lie to you. I seem quite chill, but I had anger issues. I'm not going to lie. It's been difficult for me because I grew up with that since I would think I was quite an angry person since I was a teenager. But of course that came with a lot of situations that arose back in the day that I had to deal with that made me angry, and I kept it and all of that stuff. But the point I'm trying to make is I had to deal with that during this lockdown, and it has not been easy. Trust me, it has not been easy. I would say I have probably accomplished a lot in this almost 2 months because I was forced to deal with it. So that's good. That's really good. I consider myself a more chilled person now. So yeah, it's been great. The point of this video, I felt was really important to talk about. It's been on my mind for quite some time. I just was not very comfortable speaking about it, and I think I was just very scared. And I'm a very private person, so I don't really talk about things that are bothering me and things that are hurting me, and I kind of deal with it on my own, which for me has turned out to backfire because keeping things inside has just made me into a more difficult person, I would say. So it's been a topic of discussion for quite some time. A lot of people have been talking about it, but very vaguely. But I feel that I really want to talk about this because it's important. It's a matter of life and death. And that is why I want to speak about mental health and mental illness and depression. You know what's the most strangest thing is that mental health issues have been part of our lives probably since the beginning of time, but no one has actually ever spoken about it. I think it's because we have been too ashamed. I think it's because people would have thought we are weak or a burden if we speak about our problems. Which is why for me it was very difficult to talk about, because I always felt like no one needed to know about my problems, and even if they did, they would have a different perception of me. They would think I'm a loser and I'm too much of a burden. I'm always having problems. I'm moody. I'm emotional. How many of us have ever been told that we are too emotional? Yeah, a lot of us have actually been told that. But guys, this is real. This is very serious. Depression for me started at a very young age. I would say probably around 9 or 10. That is possible. that is possible. Looking back at how I grew up and not having both parents with you through your life and teaching you principles and morals and all of that has probably affected me very negatively. I grew up with my grandmother since the age of 7 until I was 27 years old. She passed away because of cancer. And that was very difficult for me because I felt that added to my depression. I think I've been so dependent on her that she taught me how to live with her, but not how to live without her. And when she passed away, I couldn't believe it. I really couldn't believe it, because I felt like she could just get up from that bed any moment and things will be okay again. And I never dealt with the fact that she would not come back. She played a very big role in my life. I'm not gonna lie to you, she literally was the best. So growing up, I would have considered myself a very disciplined kid, respectful, humble, always smiling, always wanting to make people happy, always trying to help people, just always trying to be the best version of myself. I was compared to a lot of other kids of how I should be and how we're supposed to be. So that placed a very big strain on my life, because I felt that everything I needed to do, I had to do it to be better than the next person, or better than, just better. And it placed a lot of stress on me. And every time I failed, it would be very disappointing, and I think there's something wrong with me, and I would really just punish myself for it. I would stay in my room all day, I would cry, I would think something's wrong with me, and that all started because I felt like a failure, and not realizing that I had to find my own potential. I had to find my own way of doing things, and not just following a certain way of doing something, which brings me to the point of culture and what culture teaches us and how culture expects us to be. A lot of cultures teach us that it's okay or rather, it's wrong to do this, it's wrong to do that, it's wrong to do this, it's wrong to do that. And I feel that places us in such a shell that we are afraid to express ourselves. We're afraid to talk about our problems. We're afraid to express ourselves. Me for once, I was always told that I need to become a doctor, and I need to become an accountant, or I need to become an engineer, because that's how I'll make it in life. And I felt so offended by that because that's not where my passion was. I had a creative streak. I had a passion for the entertainment industry and for art and for fashion and all things fun, I'm not saying engineering is not fun and being a doctor is not fun. It's amazing, but it's not for everyone, and it was not for me. And I had to choose whether I should take math and science and bio in school, or whether I should do the non-scientific and the non-mathematic subjects. And I asked myself, I think that was probably one of the only times in my life where I actually put myself first, and I said that I don't need this. I don't need science. I don't need bio. I don't need accounting and maths to become an artist, to become an actor, to become, someone in the entertainment industry or fashion industry. I don't need that. So I'm not going to do that. And it paid off. I didn't have to stress myself out in school because I didn't take math and science and all of that. And then when I graduated, I found that a lot of options were open for me. A lot of career fields were open for me. And I embraced it and I took it. And now we all go through this journey in life where we ask ourselves a whole lot of questions. Who am I? Or what am I here to do? What's my purpose? Is there anyone out there that loves me? Is there anyone out there that cares for me? Why am I alone? Why does no one seem to like me? Am I a problem? Why am I a problem? What's the use living? Do I really deserve to live? That's the kind of questions we ask ourselves when we are in this state. Allow me to just take you back once again to my own self, and which actually brought me to want to speak about this topic today, because I believe it affects everyone. It really affects everyone. There are people out there who are going through the worst. May not be physically, but I'm talking about mentally. Up here, people are not okay. People are going through the darkest, deepest, most treacherous times, all up in here. And we don't know about it. Why? Because we smile. Because on the outside, we're okay. On the outside, the world doesn't have to know. Or we're dying. We hide behind those smiles. And that is the most dangerous thing. I've always wanted someone to check up on me. I've always wanted someone to ask me, how am I doing? Or, is there anything you need? Is there anything I can help you with? Do you want to speak about things? But many people have not asked me that question. Because I always smiled. Because I was always so good at hiding away what I truly felt about myself and about the world. And that was my downfall. I never spoke about my problems. I never spoke about what was bothering me, what was eating me up alive. A lot of this pain came from being a child and feeling like I never belong anywhere, feeling like everyone was against me. Everyone just wanted something from me. And it's been hard because I would be ill-treated and I would be called names and I would be teased and mocked and ridiculed most of the time. And I had no one to talk to, no one to tell that I'm hurting, no one to tell that I'm having a bad day, you know. My grandmother was there and I loved her, but I think I respected her so much that I felt that if I had to talk to her about how I felt, that would hurt her. And I respected her too much to hurt her in that way. So I was alone. I had no one to talk to. And part of me thinks right now that the reason why I had no one to talk to was partly my fault, because I never trusted people easily and I never opened up to people. And yes, that can be a bad thing because people can use it against you, but there are also truly people out there who genuinely care about you and genuinely want to know what's going on in your life, not because they want anything from you, but because they want to make sure that you're okay. And I know right now a lot of you are thinking that, how would you know if someone truly loves you? How would you know if someone genuinely cares about you? The thing is, for me, I've had a lot of those people that said they cared, a lot of those people that said they'll be there for me, and I trusted them, and some of them have not kept up to their promises, and some of them have. I can't tell you who to trust and who not to trust, but deep down in your heart, there is some sort of connection that draws you to a person and that allows you to actually have that open conversation with them. Growing up, I started seeing people's intentions, and I started, I could discern people much more. I started getting wiser. I started understanding how people's minds work. So that kind of held me back as well. But I could also sense the genuine people out there. And I've adopted a few and they've helped me through it. But obviously I was not at that point where I could talk about everything that was bothering me. You know, a big thing for me, one of my biggest insecurities, one of my biggest causes of depression and mental health was growing up with my parents not being together. My dad was not there for me. My dad and mom were separated, and I was distanced from my mom. Like, I didn't really know her as much as I should have, but that's a completely different story. But I just didn't have both my parents, and every time I would see a family walking down the road, smiling, and the dad just picking up their kid and just embracing them and taking them to the shop and buying for them whatever they desire, and the mom just reaching down to kiss the little boy on his cheek and tell him that she's proud of him, and all of those kind of things. I never had that, so that hurt me, and I started hating my family. I started hating other families because they had what I didn't. And I grew up with this hole in my heart that no one loves me. So that for me added a lot of pressure and strain in my life, which led me to a very dark road. And I felt that my situation has never been easy, so I just shouldn't care about what people think about me anymore. And I shouldn't care how I live my life because nobody cares about me. So I'm going to do whatever the hell I want to do, you know. And then I became rebellious. And then I started getting up to no good. And that was an escape for me, but it was not my solution. It was not my way to overcome the darkness in my life. I prayed, I cried, I've done everything to move out of this dark place. And it has not been easy. It has not been easy. I felt at times that I was ill-treated so badly by a lot of people. I felt that what's the point of living? I don't have a family. I don't have friends that genuinely care. I have people out there who are using me. I'm not doing 100% well at school. I don't have money to study, you know. I don't have a car. I don't have this. I don't have that. There was so much of negativity in my life. I could not see light at the end of the tunnel. And I felt that I don't have all these things. So what's the point in living? God doesn't hear my cries. God's not answering my prayers. So clearly I'm hated. Clearly there is no one that cares about me. So I'm gonna take my life. And I tried. I tried so hard to take my life. And I couldn't die. I couldn't die. I overdosed. I slit myself. I even tried strangling myself. It never helped. Not even death wanted me. So I came to a point in my life where I decided that I'm tired of living this way. I'm tired of thinking this way. I'm tired of feeling like I need to prove myself to somebody. I'm tired. I'm really tired of feeling condemned and depressed and hurt and broken and hard. Like, I'm tired. I'm really just tired. So I made up my mind and I told myself, Riaz, you are so much better than what you think of yourself. You have a purpose. You have a reason to live. You don't need people's opinions and people's attitude towards you to define who you truly are. You don't need it. If nobody cares about you, you're going to live for yourself and you're going to prove to yourself that you are somebody, that you are important, that you are necessary, that you are loved by yourself. And I applied this. It took me a couple of years to get into this mindset of loving myself and doing things for myself and improving myself, getting better at what I do, loving what I do, not taking people's negativity and degrading comments and ridicule and mockery and just pushing it aside and just focusing on myself and where I want to be. And I got a notebook and I drew a circle in this notebook and I drew a small stick figure and I said, this is me and this is the world. And I made points on all those circles, in that entire circle, as to where I want to be in that circle. And I said, this is how I'm going to get there. This is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to overcome. And this is where I want to be right now. and I sketched it all down in the circle. And I gave myself a time limit and a time frame for this. And I said, I'm going to do this and I'm going to get this at this time, at that time, and that time. And yes, if it doesn't happen in that time, it's okay. I'm still going to get it. Maybe now, maybe later, maybe in 20 years, but I'm going to do it. And that helped me. And that really helped me. I started thinking differently. My eyes started opening. I started not focusing anymore on what a letdown I am, or what a loser I am, or how imperfect I am. And I started focusing on how I see the world and how I want to be better and how I want to live and how I want to love, you know. And that helped me, guys. That really helped me. Now, I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying it's a bed of roses. It's not. Pulling yourself out of that dark, horrible, treacherous place is a lot of hard work. It's blood, sweat, and tears. You're gonna cry. You're gonna go through the worst. But it pays off in the end. I'm not saying that depression is curable. I'm saying that depression is preventable. You can allow yourself to fall back into that once you're out of it. Or you cannot allow yourself to fall back into that. You're going to have a moment of weakness sometimes. You're going to have a moment of heartbreak sometimes. But when you build up that mindset, you can easily pull yourself out of it and overcome anything and all negativity that is thrown at you. Trust me, it works. But here's the most important thing. You need to speak about your problems. You need to tell people that you need help. And there are ways, guys. There are hotlines that you can call if you're feeling suicidal. There are hotlines for you if you're feeling depressed or hurt or heartbroken or just going through the worst. There are hotlines for that. There's people you can speak to. I'm here. I can probably try my best. Actually, I will try my best to help you because I've been through a lot of it and I came out of it. And I can tell you how I did it, and hopefully that will help you. But what I'm trying to say is, please speak about your problems. Mental illness, mental health, and depression are so important. And the only way you can overcome that is if you speak about it, is if you be honest with yourself about it, and is if you allow yourself not to be overcome by your negativity. And if you don't allow yourself to be drawn in again by the deep dark hole. So how can you help somebody who is going through mental illnesses? How can you help somebody who is going through depression? Here's how. Always be kind to the next person, because you don't know what they are going through. They might smile. Some of the most infamous celebrities and people who have passed on because of suicide have all been happy people. They've been smiling. They've been on top of the world. But the pressure's been so intense, and they might have been so badly affected and hurt by people letting them down or unkind words that have been said to them, that they felt they were never good enough or will never be good enough, even though they were at the peak of their careers. So it's important. It's important to be kind. It's important to show concern. It's important to reach out to your friends and ask them how they're doing, and letting them know that you are truly there for them. And don't just say it because you need to say it. Say it because you have to, because you truly care about them. And even if you aren't very close to someone and you know that they are going through something, please humble yourself and reach out to them and tell them that no matter what, they are loved, they are appreciated, and they are cherished. Because that's what we want to hear. That's what we want to know. That there are people out there who are tolerable of us. There are people out there who are happy to be around us. There are people out there who genuinely care about us. We want to know that. We don't want to be let down by people who make false promises and tells us that everything's going to be okay, I'm here for you, and when you're going through your most, they are not. I've learned a lot about myself in this lockdown, and I had a lot I needed to teach myself about checking up on my friends and making sure they're okay. And yes, I need to do that still. I need to implement what I'm saying right now. So let's do this together. Let's help people out there. Let us stop cyberbullying. Stop threatening people. Stop telling people they are fat or skinny or dark or ugly or have acne or oily hair or whatever it is. It's fine. It's really okay. By them having these imperfections, according to you, is not going to help your life. So please, before you point a finger at the next person, make sure your hands are clean. And that unfortunately is something, that is fortunately something we all have to live by. I do not want to see them alone, and I do not want to see them depressed, but united. Let's help each other. Let's make a promise to each other right now. And I'm going to say that I, Riaz Saint, am making a promise that I am going to make it my duty to reach out to my brother and my sister and make sure that they are okay and let them know that I am there for them because I care and I do not want to see them hurting. I mean, there are people out there who just wants to get their point across, even if it hurts someone else's feelings. Stop. Think about it before you speak about it. Agencies, industries that are belittling models, calling them too skinny or too fat or too short or too ugly. Do you not realize that that is hurting the next person? That's going to put them in the place where they feel out of place, where they feel unwanted, unloved, and they're going to do crazy things to live up to your perfection mindset. It's not cool. I know what it feels like. I've been called skinny all my life. I've been called dark all my life. I've been called ugly all my life. And that hurt me. That led me to a point where I wanted to take my life because I felt like I was never going to be good enough. Because of people's words, because of people's horrible, terrible mindset of the way they see things. It's not okay. It's really not okay. You grow up with a complex. You have this complex all your life. Even when you're an old man or an old woman, that complex stays with you. Why? Because of words that comes out of your mouth that makes a person go from this high to this small. And that is not cool. That is not cool. I have been guilty of it. I have hurt people. I have disrespected people. My tongue has hurt a lot of souls. But that's what I'm dealing with right now. And I realize my mistakes and I'm trying to help fix it. So please, mothers and fathers, if your kid is not doing well at school, they are not stupid. They are not uneducated. They need to be understood. They need time. They need one-on-one time. They need help and they need love. And by calling them stupid or an idiot or naughty or crazy, that thing sticks. that thing is going to stick with them till they're old, and they're going to become this person that's probably going to be reckless, probably going to be a rebel because of words that sting. So be careful what you say to the next person, because you don't know what burdens they are carrying. And your last stone throw could lead to their rock bottom. Social media. Social media is the platform for perfection, which does not exist in real life. We got these celebrities, we got these influencers making us think that beauty is what you need to be a success. No. In real life, those people are just you and me. Those people go through the same things we go through. Those people could also be depressed. Those people aren't as perfect as they look on social media. That's the mistake we as people make. We try to be what we see on our screen, which is never the truth. And I think we need to come out of that mindset. I think we need to stop looking up to people who define beauty as the roadmap to heaven. I think we need to stop looking up to people who say, be better than someone else. Be better than someone else because you have this and that and that. No one is better than anyone. The only time you are good is when you help someone who has fallen down. So let's just think about the things we say or do, because we don't know who we're hurting and we don't know who we are bringing down. Because I can make a difference in their lives. I can help them. Me, I can help them. Yes, you can help them. So let's do it, guys. Let's do it. We are in this together. We can overcome this. And if you feel that you don't really have anyone to talk to, I am more than willing to help you, advise you, be there for you, try to make things easier for you. So you're more than welcome to contact me on my Instagram or Facebook, and we can work this out. Let's see more videos. Let's see more people talking about this. Let's see more people sharing their problems and their illnesses and their imperfections. Let's see more people engaging about their problems, because this is going to blow up and people are going to realize that mental illness is not just a stone in the water. It's the whole damn ocean. Thank you so much for listening to me. I really hope that this inspired someone, and I really hope that it helped someone, because that's the point of this video. Have an amazing day, guys. I would like to take this moment to say well done to people who have pulled themselves out of that state of mind. Never been easy, but well done. I love you.